Hey, so this week we're talking about suicide / it gets better. And this can be a really touchy topic, so if you're prone to be triggered by things like this, I will ask you to stop watching the video. And if I do trigger you, I apologize greatly. I used to not have very bad dysphoria, and therefore I wasn't compelled to ever have even semi-suicidal thoughts. And as my distaste for my current body has become more of an issue, I have had more frequent and more serious times where I have contemplated taking my own life. There's only been a handful of times for me, but definitely I'm thankful that I'm a rational person, because I do feel that taking your own life is when the irrational depression part of you completely takes over any rational thought, and it becomes your reality and seems extremely rational. I've never actually attempted to commit suicide, so I don't know exactly where the pushing point, what that feels like, but that's what I've experienced in my times that have gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm not saying everyone who gets more depressed than me and stuff is irrational by any means, but that's just how I've experienced it, so that's how I can explain it, I guess. Yeah. So I really hope that anyone who watches this video never feels the pain that I've felt, or even worse. It's horrible, and I can't imagine feeling any worse than that, so, yeah. I text my girlfriend almost 24/7, even though a lot of times she says I don't text back fast enough. We're generally texting all day, every day. And it really just feels like someone punches me in the gut, and it's just extreme, horrible distaste for everything that I am. And I usually try and just push through it, but then when it gets to the point where I can't, I tell my girlfriend that I feel really bad, and then we'll talk about it, why I feel bad, what's going on, what I'm thinking, and then the irrational side starts to take over, and it's really like someone else is taking over my body, and I don't even realize it until afterwards. And until you experience it, like, you just cannot understand, because I never judged people who committed suicide or talked about it, but I took it too lightly, I think is the best way to say it. I wasn't an activist at all. I just kind of was like, well, that sucks, but I'm still alive, so I guess whatever. And that's just my personality. But definitely, it's the worst feeling in the world, and I don't know, really the only way to get through it is just not to kill yourself. And that's like bad advice. But just, if talking to anyone will help you, you can try to contact me. I'll put my Skype down below, if I remember. And my Tumblr is leo-edward.tumblr.com. You can always shoot me a message, and I might not reply fast, or you can always message me on my personal YouTube, which is Counting Sapiens. There should be a link on the channel. So yeah, I guess, but I really don't like the saying, it gets better, because there's a catch to it. It gets better if you get through it, and it gets better eventually. And I think that's a good thing to just see life that way, because just, you can't give up on anything. And, you know, this is a bad thing to compare to, I guess, but it sucks that I've gotten my first 2 C's this year. But once I got those grades, I just had to deal with it, and I tried, you know, once the first test I would get back and it was a bad grade, and I'd try for the next test and I'd get that back and it was a bad grade, and I just had to keep trying. And when I couldn't get better than a C, then that was that. And yeah, my life sucks a lot right now, but I'd like to think that, at least through my collab channels, if you watch my personal videos, not so much, but I would like to think that most of you have no idea how much my life sucks. And that's just my deal, I guess. Like, my life sucks, but I'm an optimistic person, and I know my life isn't gonna suck forever. Trans-related and non-trans-related. And that's really that. So, it does get better. But you have to get through it, whatever it is, and it gets better eventually. Not right now, maybe not today, maybe not next week, but if you give it time, it will get better. So, hit me up if you want to talk about anything, and I'm always there to talk to anyone, trans-related or not. So, I'll talk to you all next week. See ya.